Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you have your cup of coffee today. I mean, it's in the morning. It's about, I think, 9 o'clock. Hope you enjoyed the last few recipes. This one's really simple. It's not going to be a long video just because there's not a lot to do, to be honest. It's full of tons of flavor. Family loves it. It's, like I said, it's easy to do. So it can be a little pricey just in terms of what type of meat you get and of course the poundage, but it's still something you can find for a good, $9, $10 a pound if you're trying to keep things low and you don't have the money for steak and stuff. Some of the things we'll be using is our South Chicago packing Wagyu, fantastic stuff, and get on Amazon for pretty good price. I'm using whole carrots, organic if you can. If not, it's no big deal. Go with the whole carrots. The baby carrots, for some reason, they just don't have the same amount of flavor. I've tried it with the whole carrots and baby carrots, and every time I do baby carrots, the family doesn't like it as much, so they're definitely saying something. Celery, I do like celery in this as well. Go organic as well for that. You don't have to, again. Fingerling potatoes, fingerling potatoes, baby potatoes, or just whole potatoes that you've diced, you could also put in this. I just try to stay away from it just because I'm trying to be very, very low carb and trying to be very keto for a bit. You can also do onions. I like to do the bottom with red onions, or put some on top as well. You could put some garlic in it. It just comes down to what you're trying to, flavor-wise, what you're trying to do. Like I said, you can follow kind of a recipe as a guideline, but don't let it be set in stone. I mean, things come out of creation from people's different flavors and what they kind of want to use. And then of course I have my meat, which of course is the most important part. And this is going to be a prime, prime chuck roast, I think. Yep, I got a prime chuck roast for this one. I think this one's about 4 pounds. Oh, 2.7, so off. And that's about it. I mean, you're going to want to keep this out of the fridge for an hour. It's a lot of mistake that people make. They don't take their meat, let it come to room temperature, pat it dry. You can salt it as well before, which will help some of the process. But what I usually do is I'll just salt it when I'm ready to make it. So essentially, it's pretty easy to do, and we'll kind of get started on the cutting board. All we got to really do is cut our celery down, cut our carrots down, season the meat, layer it in our crock pot, because we are going to use a crock pot. I actually have a Breville risotto cooker, which works just as good as a crock pot. It's a little small. But again, this is something you can put on first thing in the morning. It'll take you 5 to 10 minutes to do. It takes about 6 to 9 hours to make. You can slow cook it. If you want to speed it up, you can go a little bit. It'll be done a little bit quicker. But like I've said a million times, low and slow is always going to give you more flavor when it comes to your food. So let's get started on the cutting board, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. So here I have my stuff. I'm going to kind of start with my carrots. I just leave a little tin here just to put my carrot shreds in. Try not to throw anything out, like I always say. You can use this for a stock. Take your carrot skins, put them in a stock. You can compost them. Because a lot of people, they go and they get, different types of stocks at the store, which are incredibly, in my opinion, full of crap. And it's very easy to do yourself. You just take those leftovers that you have from your carrots, whatever you're making, and throw that in a pot. You can get yourself a vegetable stock or broth. Beef broths are great for this. So like if you save the green onions, the bottom of the green onions from the last recipe, that is great for vegetable stocks, beef stocks, chicken stocks, all the above. What I'm doing is I'm just skinning the carrots to start off. You can use a blade if you want as well. That could help you with your knife skills. It's in the morning, still got to work. I work from home, so I don't got to worry too much about going into the office, but I wanted to get my walk in. I actually had to get carrots today as well, so I didn't have these. So I'm trying to be fast, right? When it comes to at least the prep work. So I didn't do my mise en place. Usually I would do that, earlier in the day, kind of get it all ready, and then when I'm ready to cook dinner, it's essentially just taking the stuff out and doing it, right? Like I said, this is a very quick thing. If you're someone that works from home, and you're kind of in charge of the food. My wife doesn't cook, so I'm kind of have that on my shoulders. This is something quick that's going to give your family a lot of nutrition. It's going to go a long way as well, because we're going to be using, you know, that Wagyu tallow, which is going to give it, 1, more flavor, 2, more fat, which of course is going to give it more nutrition, and it's going to fill those stomachs up a lot better than, you know, super processed foods, quick sugars, quick carbs, stuff like that. But you got to do what's best for you and your diet and what you like and what your family wants. So again, like if you want to add potatoes and stuff like that to the recipe, you want to skip the beef tallow, by all means do it. You can get things like North stock pots or bouillons cubes that will help add some more flavor to it if you're buying a cheaper cut of meat. My only caveat with that, and just a warning, is a lot of the times those are full of monosodium glutamates and things that are just not good for blood pressure, your A1C, things like that. And that's, of course, it's not medical advice, but just in what I like to do, what I feel is best for me and the family, whatever the proper grammar is there, that's what I do. Then I'll take just cut the ends off. And then I'll essentially just, you know, cut them, essentially, right? Again, beef stock, it's gonna go in my little container, or whatever stock I'm making. Not, of course, I missed that one. They're not, of course, all gonna be even, just because of the size of the carrot. But I try to kind of keep them relatively the same. The reason is because the ones that are larger are going to take longer to cook. So if you're speed cooking, you might get, you know, on a high setting, you might get a carrot that is cooked all the way through. And then you might get a carrot that's not. And that's never any fun. I mean, I prefer that soft kind of melt in your mouth when it comes to veggies. Some people like them charred, like broccoli, or like Brussels sprouts. I like mine, if I'm eating them, to be very soft and mushy. And I know that's drives some people crazy, but that's just the way I like mine. Okay, so I got my carrots. Get my celery. I'm not going to add too much celery to this. I use this for like chicken salads, tuna salads. If I'm having goat cheese, it's a nice little thing to put goat cheese on top. Put goat cheese on top of the celery. I actually kind of like that. I try to cut the top of these off. Again, it's going to go in my little bowl, or Tupperware, whatever you want to call it, which is going to be for my stocks. You can cut them down the middle and split them if you want. What I usually just do is, like I said, my family is not huge celery people, so being very minimal with the celery. And if you're gonna add things like potato, I don't know why I keep saying tomatoes. If you're gonna add things like potatoes and stuff like that, it's good to leave some room. All right, so let me see if I can kind of bring my crock pot over here so I don't have to. There we go. Okay, so this is my Breville crock pot, or, you know, it's a risotto maker, but I use it as a crock pot. I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of beef tallow. I can get it off. I'm just gonna place it on the bottom. You're like, man, that's gross. No. Just a little bit of licking the spoon for beef tallow it's amazing. You'd be surprised. Take some onions. And I just kind of like layer the bottom a tiny bit. The reason I do that is I'm kind of lifting the roast off the bottom. Now what you could do is you could sear at a very high temperature all sides of the meat to lock the flavor in. I just prefer it low and slow with none of the additions of that. Grab my meat. Here it is. You can see the butchered twine. I just leave that on. It's no big deal. I'm going to salt. Oh, that's pepper. That's no problem though. I'm gonna put pepper on top. Bit of salt, and I'm gonna salt laboriously. Laboriously? What's that word? With liberty. All around. If your food does not have a lot of flavor, 99% of the time it's because you didn't salt it enough. Rosemary. I do love some rosemary in this. You can do rosemary, thyme, like I said, garlic. It all kind of comes down to just what flavors your family likes, right? Then I'm going to take just my carrots and my celery. And I'm just going to throw them in. Trying not to use my left hand. My left hand was my hand that I used for picking up the meat. Just so I don't gotta wash my hand as much. I think people are a little bit too worried about bacteria. Chicken you gotta be really worried about. I think meat you can kind of get away with a little bit more. Cool. That's literally it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the top on. I'm gonna use the low setting, and I'm gonna hit start, and I am literally done. Like I said, this is gonna take about 6 to 8 hours. I'll kind of come back to it once in a while and just check on it, but you don't need to. You can literally just, these are meant to be left on. They're safe to leave on. They have switches that will turn off if anything happens. But yeah, these things don't put up that much power. So yeah, that's it. So what we'll do is we'll kind of let it go. In the next part of the video, I'll kind of show you when you can tell it's done. You know, it's done when it just pulls apart, right? You take your 2 forks, and it should just literally just fall apart. If it's kind of tough to do, just let it keep going. And I will usually start this in the morning, or you can do this, you know, before you go to bed at night. And that's perfectly fine as well. And your house is going to smell absolutely amazing getting up in the morning, or absolutely amazing when you get home from work and the family comes home. So, all right, guys, thanks so much. And like I said, the next part of the video, we'll kind of show you it being done, and we'll start eating it. See you soon. All right, everybody. So later in the day, we should be good to go, to be honest. Just looking at it. I just get 2 forks, pop the top off. It smells good. As you can see, it just falls apart. So I just take the 2 forks, break it all apart. Just be careful of the bottom. There is our butcher twine. Just take that out. Yeah, and just continue shredding it up. See all the carrots and celery have cooked through. This can be served with mashed potatoes. I think it's probably the best. Can actually take this broth, and if you want, put it in a pan and make a gravy. You can make like an open face oven roast or chuck roast sandwich. It's one of my favorite things. Just trying to stay away from bread and stuff right now though, but my recommendation with everything is to taste it. Know what seasoning you're gonna need if you need any. It's a good piece. I'm not trying to, I can find one, there we go. Give it a good taste. Perfect. A little bit more salt, I would say. And that's it. Simple. Took me what? 3 to 4 minutes to prepare. Took about, what time is it? It took about 6-7 hours to do. But yeah, that's all you gotta do. So I hope you like the recipe. If you have any different additions you think could work to it, please put it in the comments. Let me know. But yeah, super easy, cost-efficient meal. Should get us, 2 to 3 meals for a family of 4. And like I said, you can serve this with a vegetable, open-faced sandwiches, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. Well, I hope y'all enjoy, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks.